News now. The Texas Supreme Court has decided not to hear Nueces County's arguments on why it should get the property tax revenue from some piers belonging to the OxyChem plant in Ingleside. The property in question is where the old naval station Ingleside used to be. You may remember it was back in October when the courts ruled that millions of dollars in tax revenue that was being split between Nueces and San Patricio County should all go to San Pat County. Of course, for Nueces County, it was a decision that would mean a loss of millions of dollars in tax revenue. But the High Court's decision not to rehear this case is the final word on the matter.